Hi, if you'd like to come on in, have a seat and scry a while. We're going to utilize the scrolls as well as Tarot and Oracle, and we have GhostTube Seer version here for some little visual inspiration should anything come through. So thank you for being here, fellow empaths, seers, and psychonauts. Woo, okay. Look at that. I think there's cards coming down. Tussin Tarot. We'll see what the message comes through, and we will receive or release freely. There's lots of scrolls coming through, both Oracle and Seer. We'll take it. All right. I'm going to take a moment to make my little vision board here and kind of get things set up. You know the drill. If you'd like to join me, take a moment to close the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Let's explore the aura of all. Wow, there's work being done. Wow, there's some work being done. Okay, we have here. Yeah, there's work being done. Aries and Mars scroll with Leo and the Sun. The fire. Give me a moment. I feel like I'm welding. I feel like I'm welding something. But this feels like internal. It's like diverting pipes, not ignoring, but it's like maybe like the channels within the self. Maybe there's some rearranging. Okay, so it's like I'm seeing maybe an old version of you or your gift, skill, talent, the energies. Thank you. Internally, and then it's expressed externally in the auric field. Okay, so going through those layers of the body, this is how it's feeling. And say you're the house, and this is, your land, your energy, and where it meets maybe the sidewalk or gravel to the roads, the asphalt rivers, as I call them. Okay, so there's an update being done inside. Something's a little bit of rearranging, like if they're, it's not rearranging as like because it didn't work before. It's an upgrade to say, oh, like new channels are available. It's like going back in the day when they say, oh, we used to use lead piping or lead paint, and now you can use acrylic. Like something new is being sent in, and I feel as though it's from the astral or spirit realms. Call it what you will, whatever level, the Buddhic planes, dimensions. That's all personalized. I feel like you have an inkling which plane, dimension, space it's coming in from, because this isn't. It's because there's something listening that's been going on and a willingness to renovate and update. This isn't because there's anything wrong with the old way. I want this to be made clear. It's for those that are just stepping into that. And I feel like there's different measurements of it. Okay, so that's why I'm like welding, because I'm seeing like different pipings being changed out. And more importantly, how it's connected, not more importantly, but you know what I mean, how it's connected to how I communicate with the outside. So now I'm seeing it like sewage plumbing, but I don't mean it to be so poopy. That's one aspect. And then there's like how hydro would come into your house, how the internet, say, these being symbolic, perhaps, as well as paralleling partners. Okay, so, and how resources come in. And it's like those, so the city or the town, which I feel like is the spirit realm, it's like you've paid your taxes and now they can upgrade things because you're listening, and you're willing to go through any sort of discomfort for that to happen. And then in turn, once like you get the new electrical, it changes going out. Does that make sense? That's wild. Look at all that fire down there. This is like, I don't see it. To me, I feel like I'm in the flame of the welder or the electricity, the work being done at the root, right? The bones of your house, the bones of your holistic humanness. Yeah, that's exactly how that's coming through. Okay, sorry, I'm going to keep going here. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't already, thank you to all those who like, share, and subscribe. And to all those who donate through Buy Me a Coffee, PayPal, or Super Thanks. Like, I get all smooshy inside. So thank you. It's almost like, okay, as well for some, because it's very much so in the root, sacral to solar plexus, the solar body's being activated. Okay, and for some, it already has been activated, but for others, it's like taking the sunglasses off for a little bit. You know, like maybe you have to walk around in the world with shades on, and that's cool. But there's times that stepping forward to say, take in like the purity of the sun, not in an unhealthy way. This is talking about that solar body space. And the Ace of Swords is coming in, and it's all gold. And I'm in that Leo sun scroll. There's a happiness. It's like I can hear the element, an expression of the element of fire through the sun. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Gray with the sunglasses, right? You need shades sometimes. I'm also seeing that a feather can be as sharp as a knife. What's going on? Princess of Berries. There's a sharing here. There's a sharing. Where am I in the scroll space? Oh, there's 3. King of Coins, Page of Skates, and Sin of Lust. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I just heard that. Boom. Is that from a game show? Da 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 da. Is it The Price is Right? Weird. Okay, so when I was gonna say before I got distracted, it's like the floor is lava. The floor is lava, right in that scroll. But see how like this empathic higher self information is drawing down to the very root, the human, the generator. Oh, look at those beautiful graveyards. It's so peaceful. Graveyards and cemeteries are like the most peaceful parks. Anyway, okay. I get to, yeah. Okay, so this gift from the spirit realm, afterlife, ancestors, anything that feels good for you to trust using your discernment, I feel that you are. But maybe your discernment is digging a little deeper because you're digging deeper. There is an inheritance coming through, and that's what's coming in from the solar body spirit. So whatever plane that is, I feel like there is a specific plane, but everyone's is different. And the gift is coming in to enhance it at the root space. So it's like seeing the root, sacral, and solar plexus, like those very earthly energy centers, as you are probably more so in the heart, throat, and third eye. We're going to leave the crown as its own entity at this space, and the chakras well above and beyond. This is an upgrade for the root, sacral, and solar plexus. And it stems from the heart, or not the heart, the heart work that's being done. It's like this solar body is expanding out, and there's some sort of fortune cookie involved. Okay, so some might have felt at some point in time, yep, okay, we're going up there. Emotionally, energetically, this could be overwhelming. It's like I'm seeing the Titanic sink, not the Titanic itself, but symbolically speaking. And now you're like on one of those raft or lifeboats. Some part of you is going through this. Some part of you may resonate with this. And I'm hearing I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. Interesting image down there. Because it's like this temple town. Bunch of little temples that make the one temple. Does that make sense? So it's like every little part. One part may have felt, especially if you wander in the empathic range, but then as soon as I said that, sometimes I just saw psychonauts sailing around and in all the different rough waters. And sometimes you just need to check into land, check into the root, check into the sacral, get a little suntan, go on a vacation, and enjoy the fruits of the labor. Anything that's been in extravagance or excess is being asked to be moderated. Guilty. But that's how it's feeling. Moderating. Moderation. Moderating. Okay. So I'm into the crown. Thank you. This hasn't been forced. I feel like at some point in time, I might have had a wish for this. I thought I was ready. I did the things, I read the books, yada, yada, yada. This feels as though this isn't an intellectual, I'm ready. This was being grateful for the plumbing I had, the bones of my being, the skill sets that I had and I worked with. Because those were telltales to the spirit realm, to, I'm going to say like light workers and stuff. And I don't toss those words around very often because I just don't. Not that I have any, ick with them. It's, hopefully you understand what I'm saying. But it's the light workers almost on the other side working with the solar light bodies here. The sun will come out tomorrow. Like if there's parts of you or gifts or skills as well that have been orphaned, that maybe you forgot about, maybe you dismissed, and maybe you've kept them dismissed for a particular reason, and that's fine. There's a potential here in, I'm going to say like a portal or something, or simply a relationship with that whole city or town, village to the person. And then it's bringing me into that temple where a bunch of tiny temples make up the big temple. Your resilience to continue to pursue things. Do you know what it feels like? It feels like any burdens, peace, thank you. Any burdens that I have been bearing, putting myself within. I haven't been forcing myself to, but I have been having to have some sort of discipline, knowing that there's value. And as I've been walking this path, and maybe I've been in, emotional water sometime or psychonaut waters, even for some, this is in the spirit realm. Working with the afterlife, if you're, fellow medium, artist, or you're just a channeler in whatever respect that you do. And it doesn't have to be in the magical realms or mythology or mythic realms. This could be very much so in the mundane, but you know what you're doing. You know that you're channeling the art form of being an accountant, etc. Okay, so it's like I've been carrying these bundles with Aries. I've been the one. I decided I was the one. And by choosing myself to be the one amongst the many in the one, the ton of tiny temples to the one temple. And I've gone through these different environments, and sometimes my bundle of branches, say of things, parts of my past got wet. They were heavier to carry. Maybe at some point, sometimes I had to use some for little fires along the way of inspiration, whatever the case may be, or cleansing. But inevitably, I feel as though I am bringing this bundle, utilizing any skates or swords to create, whittle, shave things off for kindling different parts of the fire. Even create things, basket weaving. But the point is along the very journey, I'm bringing this bundle as an offering to this temple town. I don't even know what else to call it. Look at that. Like if you chose yourself to be the one, there's work to be done. Many people can imply, I want to be the one. I feel like I'm the one. Then be it. Step into it. Something also about creative energy. There might be some gossip around you. And I'm hearing it's freedom, free will, freedom of speech, allowing space for everything to exist, but knowing that you're kind of outside of it. So they're really just talking amongst themselves because it's serving them. You just happen to be an archetype, a person that they think or they have chosen to project it to, but it's not actually being projected because you're outside of it. There's been an upgrade. The plumbing's being done. The electrical's being done. All of these resources of realities upon realities upon realities. Some may start with electrical. Some may start with plumbing. Some may start with fuel for heating. You know what I'm saying? Or, oh, I'm going to get a new roof. Anywho, okay. I feel like you know what I mean. All right, closing out messages as we get ready to close out. Fortune cookie. Called it, saw it in the beginning. Okay, we have here Wheel of Fortune, Crystal Ball, and Clarity. Oracle, Wisdom, and Unseen. Do you want to guess what it is? Sometimes I'm fun. It's Foresight. All right, I'm going to take a moment here. I feel as though through this, when I say upgrade, I don't want it to sound pretentious. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But I kind of when I think of maybe others may perceive you're choosing yourself as the one as pretentious or passive aggressive or something like that. That's not how it actually feels. I feel very proud. So hopefully you're very proud of yourself, because amongst this upgrade, there is almost like a... What is that? We were just talking about yesterday, Miyuki and I. As one raises up, let's use power as the word, the term. It's not diminishing others. That's not how one is raising up. It might be perceived that way by somebody else who feels, or they're not doing whatever work, or they're competing. It's not the same. This just feels like it's not even elevating to be away. I don't know how to say it. It feels like it's full of integrity. And as I become more of who I am, as I renovate and redecorate, and this isn't in a because it could be a recycling, and there's an appreciation, and there's actually no separation. However, the path, the journey of all these temples towards that the one temple, it's just not for everyone. Where one's priorities are just reside in different places. And I feel like that's known respectfully from yourself. And that's the clarity of power. I hesitated to use power, but it's power. Okay, see the image down here? This door is bringing me right into the movie Doctor Strange, the first one. And he goes to this door. Inevitably being taught. I don't know if you've seen the movie Mr. Strange or Doctor Strange, whatever the case may be. And at first it's some people might feel that they're left out in the cold, because what's coming through may challenge the norm, may challenge your normal, let alone everyone else's version of normal. So I don't know why everyone gets so caught up in normal when the normal is not a thing. It's not a thing. Anyway, but that door leads into this. And that means you have to go through the door of darkness. And this isn't about dark night of the soul. This isn't about what I think I want it to think, what I think I want it to mean, because I haven't been here before. It's also, I'm going to tell myself, Stephanie, it's not a haunted house. Nothing's going to come out and, Michael Jackson's Thriller come at you. This is a door into, is it Van Morrison? Into the mystic. which means more information is going to come through. Training. It's like updating a security system. And, maybe before you just, used to, put a stick in front of something, or you're just like, yep, deadbolt. And now you're going to have to learn this technology thing. And it's like, oh, you got to do this, and this speaks to this. And hopefully you understand what I'm saying when I'm talking about things that I don't know. But anyway, and I almost feel like it's not darkness. Yes, we're still here necessarily. It's because you're going to walk in to, it could be a guide, could be your higher self. Like, again, there's so many paths because I feel like I'm connected to a lot of, and when I say tiny temples, I don't mean tiny in a measurement of value. It's just I can see them all very small to make up this large temple. But like, I could walk into one of those tiny temples and it be a mansion. So things are not what they appear to be, in a good way. Yeah, that makes sense. I know it does. So as I step into this oracle wisdom, like this clarity to walk through the dark blue hues and the purples, almost like, the bruise. Again, the sun comes out. This, not even clarity, but it's the offering I came in with. And it's returned to me in a tea. And as I drink this tea, realizing I've been carrying the medicine, I've been carrying the very things that can help me. It was just changing forms. And my higher self has handed it back into a tea for me to foresee and actually appreciate where I've come from, but without using it as the ink in my pen moving forward. Yeah. Okay. This is beautiful. Did I say like, share, and subscribe? If not, I'm going to repeat it again. Are we going to add? No, this is not what we're adding on. Okay. I'm truly going to get ready to close out here. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a really nice message. Kind of intense, but a nice message nonetheless. All right. Closing out messages for the empaths, seers, and psychonauts. I'm really enjoying this ghost tubes here. I'm such a visual person. I appreciate it. It's like a playground. Old school, but it's a playground. Okay, I'll take you. On the bottom, we have anchor. Oh, what is that? Do you see like that orby flashing thing in there? Yeah, this is where teachers and students play. They play together. Oh, there's two over here. Okay, let's take a look at these. Bride, gazelle, engagement, wife, purity, change. This is engaging that flow, committing. My nose is getting super itchy. Realizing that my feather in a cap is also a pen. I decide on what the ink is. Is it going to be my blood? Is it going to be my tears? Is it going to be the ink of what I've let die through the ashes? I'm changing and purifying. There's, even in the gazelle, see how the aura around it? It's like pure white. There's a clarity, that upgrade feel. Oh my goodness, what is happening down here? I love it. I see color. Even the crankiest of them will receive color. And it's not scary. It's not scary. But just it's almost like everyone looks a little different. It's so bright. It's so bright where even the ugliest parts of ourselves can shine and play and be received well. We have here I, along with ocean, distance journey. We've been talking about this journey, at least how I feel. And there's that foresight again. I'm really hungry all of a sudden. I feel like this journey has made me a little nash, a little something, something. Envy, protection. So we were talking about that envy as well. But this is that foresight you're carrying. And keeping an eye out for that in whatever, if there is envy, which will generally always exist, everyone's normal is different. You're going to protect yourself. You're just going to decide not to engage. You're going to change the way maybe you engage with certain people because it's their energies that are going to step forward first and foremost. It does already, but like I said, the connection from the house to the road, the resources, the connection is changing. For some, that's going to feel like they're farther away from you. That's purely them. It's like if you decide to stay on dial-up and yet there's a high speed, that's your choice. And that's perfectly perfect. Peculiar, but perfect. But you can't choose to, I shouldn't say you can't, but if someone outside of you decides to stay on dial-up, yeah, we're still here, and you've upgraded to the different variations of it. And I'm not saying it has anything to do with technology in and of itself. Of course that you know that. But the communication is just different now. It's not as fast. It's too fast, right? That's how it's going to be perceived. You're too fast and you're not fast enough. Whose normal's right? And maybe there's just this, the distance can be closed for some. When you inspire others by being who you are, you're going to close the gap for some of those people. You might not even know them right now. You might not even know them. Yeah. And for others around you, the gap's going to become larger. I don't know how else to say it. I'm also a Capricorn, so I kind of want to just say it is what it is. But I do try and hold a lot of compassion for that understanding. Okay, so we're closing out here, ESPers. There's the gate. We've seen it in the door. The Doctor Strange. You're going to go through. You're being invited to go through. But there was clues along the way. You had to choose. If you want to be the one, choose that and know that you're committing to that. Peacock as well. The gate, opportunities, home. We've been talking about the home, the holistic home. I love it. And here that this whole thing is coming in from the spirit realm. Now, some could wander into, aliens, AI, the whole kit and caboodle. All of those norms are yours to explore because I don't know. There's discernment. What's natural intuition? What is artificial intuition? These are all learning curves. And maybe this is part of for some that are here. See, it's stuff like this where I'm like, so creepy. But I love it. It's fine. It's not scary. It may try and scare you off. At the same time, when you see things that kind of give you that, it's like taking a hot mess moment. Am I hesitating because it's uncomfortable and it feels inorganic to me and it's not my way? And that's okay. Or is it because it's so unknown? Maybe before I commit to it, I'm going to do a little bit more research. I hope you know what I'm saying. You do know what I'm saying. All right. Last but not least, pregnancy wealth. It's so pretty. It's so pretty over there. In this temple town of many tiny temples. And back in my day, there used to be a show called Tiny Talent Time. Adorable. This is what it feels like. But in, I'm going to say modern. I shouldn't say new age, modern. Even to go through the gate. It's like the cemetery gates that are so peaceful on the other side. But there's a creep factor. There's just a little bit of a creep factor. And I don't mean creep as in like creepy. There's just that little bit of a, like when you go into a haunted house or something. Like, whoa. Anywho, I hope this has served you well. Thank you so much for being here with me. yeah, until next time, thanks. Bye.